Hey folks, welcome to Market Intraday Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leaders in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. This video for Monday, September 26, 2011 is brought to you by Realtik. Alright, let's get right into the mix. Markets are floating neutral to positive today. This is the second consolidation day in a row. Dow Jones Industrial Average up 146 points. NASDAQ is actually negative by 14 points. And the S&P 500 is up about 8 points on the day. So again, it's a very mixed day, but generally just looking at the spider's chart, you can see a small trend that's been angled to the upside. I want to draw this in because I think it's very, very important. If you just take the general low pivot here and take a trend line and just extend it, you can see that that almost goes right through the middle section of this move, and it gives us that sideways consolidation pattern. Now, the key to this consolidation pattern is to note that it is, by essence, an in-spirit of bearish pattern. And again, many of you may not know what an in-spirit of bearish pattern is, but ultimately it tells us that there is more downside down the road. The question is when. My analysis right now is showing a possibility of Wednesday, give or take a little bit, but ultimately this pattern does dictate a downward move in the not-too-distant future. And again, what you can see here, if we go to the 60-minute chart, is the bullish or the bearish drop here, the massive drop here, and then look at that consolidation. That's an in-spirit of bear flag through and through. If you want to learn more about this stuff, take the 7-day free trial of the Research Center and the Intraday Stock Chat. And again, come join the pros as they analyze, trade, and profit from the markets. Now, again, notice that drop here, folks, from the pivot high here on the 20th of September all the way to the low last, I believe that was Thursday. And then the sideways consolidation up. And again, my guess is we're probably going to retrace back to about the 115 to 116 level ultimately, and then that will be the pivot top. And again, my analysis is showing maybe we hit that pivot top tomorrow or so, but I want to kind of be patient on any shorts. Now, last week, we shorted early in the week. We covered those shorts late in the week for huge profits. One of the biggest weeks here at In The Money Stocks ever, as members just cleaned up by their short call. We had a pivot cycle date for last Tuesday. It played out perfectly Wednesday, Thursday. And then we called for a bounce on Friday and possibly sideways consolidation into this week, and that's exactly what we're getting. So again, it's just playing out like a T here. We want to continue to monitor this market, make sure we're on top of this market, and continue to profit. Let's go to the daily chart and take a look. You can see that in spirit of head and shoulders pattern. This is a head and shoulders pattern on the daily chart. Shoulder, head, and shoulder. Now, again, we broke through this neckline, which is the pink line right here. We've retraced up, kissing that in that head and shoulders neckline. That is resistance. That was at the 115 level. My guess is we retest or maybe go a little bit higher, possibly up to this white trend line right up here before the next wave down. But the next wave down will come, in my opinion. So be ready for it. Understand exactly how to manipulate and profit from it. Now, let's go over a couple other keys. First of all, the dollar. The dollar is trading a little bit higher, but one thing to note here, the dollar is trading inside, and this is the UUP chart, which is the dollar ETF. It's trading inside of the move from Thursday of last week and Friday. So Thursday's high is right here, Friday's high is right here. You're trading inside of that. So actually, that can be noted as consolidation as well. I ultimately think the dollar is going to go higher. It's just a matter of how much consolidation it needs. If you want to know your general first target on the dollar here, it's this pivot high. Once you get to this pivot high, I do anticipate the dollar pulling back, and then after it pulls back, I think you're going to get one more leg up, most likely taking you to this area here, this gap window, gap fill area up here, and at that point, the dollar may top out. Now, again, I think that happens down the line at this point, not in the short term. Short term, I think eventually after a consolidation, you get to this little pivot right here. All right, now let's take a look at gold and silver. Now, gold and silver, amazing volatility, guys. We had a gold and silver precious metal crash on Friday. It continued today. You can see gold is getting pounded here pretty sharply lower to the tune of a drop of $4.50 on the GLD. And this is now coming into a little bit of support. Just take a look right here. This little pivot low. This is the short-term support on the GLD. That got hit today, and you've actually had a nice bounce off of that level. If the GLD continues down, you're going to be a buyer at the 200 moving average. That's clear and simple, no-brainer right there. It's also inside of this consolidation pattern right over here. See how the GLD consolidated right over here? That's telling you there's support creation there. And again, the 200 moving average is around 148 to 149 on the daily GLD chart. SLV was an amazing mover today. Friday, it crashed, dropping as much as close to 20% intraday. Today, it gapped much, much lower. lower, but since then has reversed back up. And this is a nice reversal candle bar going back up. I do think the SLV, which is the silver ETF, probably maneuvers its way back to the upside in the next couple days and probably retraces back to the $32 level or so. That's a short-term target of 32, and I do expect a precious metal bounce here because they've just been overly crushed in the last couple days, last couple trading days, I should say, and they are due for a bounce. Now let's take a look at a couple other stocks out there. What's strong, what's weak? Apple Computer is very, very weak today. Was down much more. In fact, on the daily chart here, you can clearly see that you traded all the way into the 20 moving average on the daily, and since then have bounced sharply higher. So again, nice bounce to the upside there, and again, it's a matter of what your thoughts are on the Apple chart. Right now, you could easily see it did hit off of support. My analysis shows, though, that you probably have a little bit more downside to the 50 moving average on the next wave down in the market, at least, maybe even a little bit lower. But Apple is the strongest stock out there. It's been the strongest out there for months, and once the markets get to a bottoming point, this is going to be a great play to the upside. Amazon's trading up today. Nice little move on Amazon. Amazon talking about introducing an iPad-type competitor, and I think that's why Apple is down as well. So again, Amazon trading generally neutral to higher right now, coming back off those lows a little bit and trading up $1.45. Some other key stocks to watch. You have First Solar after a good reversal on Friday, a very important reversal on Friday, consolidating today. That could be setting up. You could be having a little bit of a bottom on the chart here. If you zoom out on the chart of FSLR, was $175, got to a low on Thursday, actually make that Friday, of about $60, $61. So again, big reversal there. This is something I'm keeping my eye very closely on. Let's take a look at the USO. The USO was a great play here. Look at this perfect double bottom here. Let me just erase these other trend lines on the chart. See this pivot low right here? Take that line, extend it right across, and you pierced it perfectly. And that was your buy price intraday on the USO, which is the oil ETF. Financials today. Financials are probably the strongest overall index, and again, JP Morgan is leading the charge percentage-wise. JP Morgan up about 3% on the day, almost $1. Notice that little reversal candle right down here last Thursday. Friday closed positive, and today again trading up, filling the gap right there. JP Morgan has been crushed of late, but nonetheless, it is getting a bounce back, and that's pretty much why I consider the Dow and S&P to be positive today, because financials are actually performing. Generally, we see financials very, very weak, and then the markets don't perform or they collapse back down, but right now you do have financials that are strong, and therefore markets should be anticipated for a positive close today. How much is the close up? Who knows at this point? But my analysis, again, is showing a positive close for today, which is exactly what we talked about last night in the No Hype Live. And by the way, folks, just a reminder here, to get involved in live broadcasts where you can ask the chief market strategist here at In the Money Stocks live questions. You can join the research center and participate in the No Hype Live. You also get the hot charts and alerts with live swing trade alerts, as well as charting patterns and techniques and proprietary analysis that hedge funds pay millions for. You can also watch the nightly videos every night, hardcore updating videos. There's a free trial, and that's just part of what's included in the research center. Free trial, 7 days. That means a full round-the-clock week. You can get involved here and, again, start profiting. If you had been a member last week, you would have made enough by playing the trades we gave out for a lifetime here. It would have paid for a lifetime here at In the Money Stocks. So that's the key, folks. You want to get involved. You want to partner up with the pros, the best in the business. You want to know our traders here on the social side, the combination of them with us, better than any hedge fund or institution out there. Bottom line, we don't need insider information. We have the charts. The charts tell us everything. Knowing, again, whether there's a top in a stock or a bottom in the stock before news comes out, that's what we do by looking at the charts. It tells us. That's why we nailed the pivot cycle date last week so perfectly to the day, accumulated shorts, and made hundreds of thousands of dollars on the drop last week. And again, moving out perfectly at Thursday's low, and now the markets have bounced back perfectly. And again, I just want to show you right here by one analysis or one key little note. I bought the SDS in the research center, as did the members here by my alert, right here. Right there. That's my entry. All right, $22.35. Guess where we sold it? Right up here, $26.35. Right there. Look at that. To get an entry on a move and to get a 1, 2, 3 bar move and be out of it for that much, almost 20% return, you either have a crystal ball or you know how to read the technicals perfectly. And again, our methodology is what gives us that ability. Come learn it. Come join the social side of the website. Once you become a full-fledged member, you get access to every trader on the website, every swing trader, every expert trader we've trained. Hard hours going into training those guys, and they're amazing now. All right, in any case, come join us here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. Start profiting with the pros. Take care.